Bezels are for 2017. That is what you will say when you take a look at the Vivo Nex. The phone has finally arrived in India and has a price tag of around 45,000 rupees. You're watching India Today Tech. I am Rahul Sethi, and in this video, we'll take a look at what all compromises the Nex brings to the table, along with its futuristic bezel-less design and a popping camera. Let's begin. The Nex looks like any other Vivo phone from the back. The front, because it's almost all screen and no notch, meanwhile has a different story. Combine the front and the back, it is obvious that the Nex isn't trying to be an iPhone clone, something that most Vivo phones would do, or at least they did until the Nex launched. The back is all glass and has a gradient finish that reflects light differently depending on how you look at it. The black version we received for review gives a hint of blue and red and yellow on it, which looks quite different. I don't know how Vivo did it, but the Nex is clearly one of the few phones in the market that you can call a collector's edition based on that gradient finish alone, which is great. But the front is where all the magic happens. The Nex boasts of a glass and metal body and a screen-to-body ratio of 91.24%, an almost perfect edge-to-edge phone to be precise. The phone does not have a forehead, but there is a bottom bezel, though quite tiny. It's a very simplistic yet very smart and sophisticated design. A design that will be hard to overlook, and there's a lot of mastery involved to get this design. The phone uses an ultrasonic proximity sensor and a piezoelectric ceramic driver for the earpiece, and both of them are put below the display. Though this kind of makes the Vivo Nex a weird phone, but that is how it achieves that thin bezel design. The bright side to look at it is that you can use either side of Nex to make or receive calls, and the screen will turn off on both occasions automatically. Vivo calls this technology soundcasting. Next, what remains is the front camera, and you know where it is. In our usage, we found it quite sturdy and also very smooth. This also means that it's prone to wear and tear over time, although Vivo says that it can be used hassle-free about 50,000 times, and also it can withstand up to 500 grams of weight. But the sad part is, and probably due to this arrangement, is that there is no face recognition on the phone. There is surely an in-display fingerprint scanner, and Vivo says it's better and faster than the X21. During our use, we found it to be a little inconsistent and would take some time getting used to. Sometimes the sensor would unlock the phone simply by a gentle tap, but otherwise it would require you to press a little harder. We think Vivo still has a long way to go with its in-display fingerprint scanners. But yes, it's a novel technology that no phone in the market has right now apart from Vivo's own X21. Now Nex has a big display, but it's also a heavy phone. There are rounded corners and edges, and back is slightly curved on the outside to make it perfectly fit the hands. But yes, it's heavier and bigger than likes of Galaxy Note 8, which is quite a deal breaker. Because Vivo has employed the same material throughout, rear and sides, it looks like Nex has been carved out of a single block of glass. Even the power button and the volume rocker on the right and the dedicated AI button on the left have the same fit and finish. This makes the Vivo Nex an overall beautiful phone, though slightly heavy and bulky, but yes, beautiful. There are a couple of downsides though. The Nex is very glossy and attracts fingerprints. Secondly, it's very slippery, and that is not good news for a big and heavy phone having an all-display front. And the glass is also not from Corning. The 6.56-inch display on Vivo Nex has an unusual aspect ratio of 19.3:9. It's a high-quality Super AMOLED panel from Samsung, and it's comparable, if not better, to what you get in the Galaxy S9. The resolution is also not as good at Full HD+, but it's a bright screen with punchy colors and deep blacks. Viewing angles are also nice, though Vivo isn't offering any manual control over contrast and saturation, so you are basically stuck with what comes out of the box. But a bezel-free display has its own feel, and that compromises for any lack of vividness. FunTouchOS 4.0, built on top of Android Oreo, looks like Vivo has been trying hard to bring iPhone-like experience to Android. Vivo has skinned almost every aspect of Android, so much so that it doesn't even feel Android anymore. The toggle menu needs to be dragged from below, and it's very cluttered. All the toggles and the recent apps lie there. Now, to switch to multi-screen, you need to put out the toggle and select the button from there, a process which is quite easy on Android. But the phone manages to run lag-free. The optimization is done well, and shall we say, the Snapdragon 845 is able to carry the load. It is the top-end processor you can get right now, and apart from a swift daily use, it gets you great gaming performance. Gaming on Vivo Nex is a delightful affair. Thanks to a big bezel-less screen and powerful graphics, you'll love playing games like Asphalt 8 on the phone. The Nex comes with a dual camera setup, having a 12 megapixel and a 5 megapixel sensor at the back with an aperture of f1.8 on the primary sensor. It clicks decent enough photos in good light, but dynamic range and sharpness leave a lot to be desired. There's a general softness about these photos, and in warm, sunny environment, the camera also has a tendency to overexpose your subject, entailing in blown out highlights. Tricky and low light shots have lots of noise, and the color reproduction is closer to real, but for a flagship, it leaves a lot to be desired. The front camera on the Vivo Nex surely looks amusing, but it doesn't deliver great results. Same is the case with the rear camera. Now, the Nex is a high-end phone, and you would expect it to compete with phones like the Galaxy S9 or the Pixel 2, but that doesn't happen. At front, it has an 8 megapixel sensor with f2.0 aperture, and the best thing about it is that it pops out magically. Selfies taken from the Nex come out soft, lack in detail, and are often overexposed, even in good light conditions. The front camera can also take software-assisted portrait shots, which are again a hit or a miss affair. So the notch is gone and the bezels are gone, and there is a popping camera on top of the Vivo Nex. This surely makes it an amusing smartphone and not just a beautiful one. You also get a nice display paired with a great hardware under the hood, which gives the phone all the power it needs at this price. But it misses out on two important ingredients you could be looking for at this price segment. That is a great software and great set of cameras. Do let us know what you think about the Vivo Nex in the comment section below. And if you like this video, hit the thumbs up button and share it with your friends. Subscribe to our channel to get latest videos delivered directly to your inbox. Thank you for watching.